Mommy, mommy, can't you see what the system's done to me?
They sing about the criminal justice system, so 5-year-old Jakari knows his mother survived it.
She got locked up in jail.
When I was 16 years old, a LMPD detective came to my friend's house. He put me in handcuffs.
In handcuffs and a yellow uniform, you can see her enter this courtroom. A judge reveals her fate.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any idea what was happening to you?
No.
She says she was framed for murdering her boyfriend. The result, nearly 4 years behind bars and another 9 years on parole, monitored for good behavior. And through it all, she said police got the wrong person.
What was it like being locked up knowing you did nothing wrong?
It's almost like a living death sentence.
She almost tried to end her life.
You just get hopeless.
Until attorneys stepped in from the Kentucky Innocence Project, a statewide resource to combat wrongful convictions. They proved there was no evidence connecting her to the crime.
I was so happy that
she became one of 23 people in Kentucky exonerated due to wrongful convictions, largely over the last 2 decades. Their total time behind bars, 214 years, according to the National Registry of Exonerations.
I lost time with my family. I lost the best years of my teenage life. I lost trust.
And she believes there are countless others facing that same unfair loss. Their convictions, often the result of police misconduct, false accusations, and mistaken identity. Strained and overworked public defenders say the court system is unfair to mainly lower-income people who can't afford bail. They are held in jail, sometimes for years, while their case is pending.
It's a painful experience.
Experts estimate 2 to 6% of people who have been convicted are wrongly convicted. That's up to around 1,600 people in Kentucky and around 87,000 people nationwide who may be innocent behind bars.
Yes.
It's been 2 years since Johnetta says she regained freedom. She now has a home, a family.
Aww. And working 2 jobs right now. So.
And she advocates for change because Kentucky is one of only 13 states without a statute to compensate people who've been wrongly convicted.
There has to be change.
Johnetta says she didn't receive a single dollar from the state to help her get back on her feet.
Everything is taken from you.
Under state law, she received less help to reintegrate into society than what someone actually guilty of a crime would be able to access. Luckily, she leans on family for support, but others don't have that safety net.
They haven't learned any skills or anything. How are they supposed to survive?
She also wants legislation to prevent what she says happened to her in the interrogation room.
Because juveniles are very vulnerable and it's very easy for them to be persuaded and to say that they committed crimes that they actually are innocent of.
Why do you think wrongful convictions keep happening?
It's not enough accountability happening.
From police to prosecutors, she says.
Well, I think she's right.
We brought her story to lawmaker Jason Nemes.
It's heartbreaking.
In light of our investigation,
so you brought this to my attention.
He tells us he'll be filing new legislation to compensate those who've been wrongly convicted.
This is an issue that I think will unify both parties and all sides of the issue.
It's an issue that will forever haunt Johnetta Carr.
Yeah.
She still has nightmares of her prison cell.
All those feelings come back.
But she says she's not a victim. She's a fighter.
And Kentucky cannot be left behind in the fight.
And justice, she says, is worth a long fight.
Mama, can't you see? What's the system done to me?
So her kids understand the danger of our criminal justice system.
There's no justice in the town.
And one day,
hi, pretty girl,
fight for justice themselves.
Johnetta Carr was pardoned in 2019 by former Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. But Johnetta says her conviction will impact her reputation for the rest of her life. She tells me the #1 way we can prevent wrongful convictions is by educating future generations to be aware of their biases. Tomorrow, we'll show you how our community is doing just that. Johnetta tells me that type of training may have prevented her from losing years of her life within a system that failed her. In studio, Paula Bassan, WHAS 11 on your side.